It's no secret that entertainment companies are exploring sequels and spin-offs, but when it comes to a well-known franchise, it can be tough to squeeze out something new, different, and successful at the same time. While sticking to traditions will always mean a certain level of polish and quality, taking a new perspective can lead to some surprising results, both bad and good. Kirby and the Forgotten Land is a great successful example, as developer HAL Laboratory has pushed the platformer from 2D into 3D and ushered in what could be the series' direction for years to come. Get ready to inhale, blow, copy, and get a mouthful for this game. Just try to stay away from the local restaurant or any bakery store. I heard this guy has an appetite. A really big one. Like many other Nintendo IPs, Kirby's humble beginnings start in the world of 2D side-scrolling adventures. Since his first appearance on the Game Boy in 1992, Kirby has been busy, racing, smashing, dreaming, even becoming yarn or pinball. But Forgotten Land meanwhile takes players on a 3D platforming adventure with our little pink hero. The premise is quite straightforward, setting our hero Kirby on a journey to rescue all the Wallabies after everyone has been transported via a wormhole above Dreamland into what looks like the remains of human civilization.
Machines!
With monsters threatening the Wallabies, it's time to spring into action and help the Wallabies make the most of their new home. Are you calling these monsters? Look at them, they look so cute. Oh, I just want to cuddle them. Okay, no. Hey. As expected out of a Kirby experience, the latest entry will have players make their way through different levels, exploring and finding secrets, sucking up their enemies and using their powers against them. The shift to the 3D perspective is obviously the biggest change, but the core elements of movement, combat, and exploration remain quite essential Kirby material. The level design in Kirby and the Forgotten Land is excellent, providing opportunities for both combat and the use of copy abilities. One of the biggest features that was highlighted before the launch of the game was that of the Mouthful Mode, where Kirby, instead of swallowing, inhales everyday objects that alter both his appearance and grant interesting abilities. It could be a car that brings speed in racing challenges, like let's just say that Kirby can be in a Fast and Furious movie.
Familiar.
A vending machine that can fire off projectiles like a machine gun, or even a lift that can cover tall heights. These are all wonderful inventive transformations and add to the overall fun of the game. So you can think of them as a second copy ability that you can use, like the way it was used back in the Kirby 64 game. As you encounter even more dangerous foes, the potential of turning the tables becomes part of the fun, and every copy ability out there brings something new and is almost always utilized in an entertaining and educational way that keeps you coming back for more. The game is very forgiving in that if you fail to discover all the hidden tasks, one will be revealed to you when you beat the stage. This is about the most difficult Forgotten Land gets. While the levels are beautiful, full of plenty of little secret side paths to discover, discovering them is never a big challenge. At least in some points. Platforming is a breeze with Kirby, especially because if you ever do fall off the edge, you can just press A and become a little balloon and float yourself back to safety. But even if you fail that, don't worry, you fall off the edge and you start back to where you were last spotted. But I do have one nitpick with one or two challenges. One of them being the take no damage, and this can happen during a stage or during a boss fight. And sadly, The pause menu does not include the retry option. This means that should you have a take no damage challenge be one of them, rather than being able to quickly restart a stage, you have to fully exit out to the overworld and then re-enter every time you want to retry. The game has two difficult settings, Wild Mode and Spring Breeze Mode. In Wild Mode, you have less health, but you'll be rewarded with more star coins. Spring Breeze Mode gives Kirby a lot more health to work with, but subsequently you receive fewer coins. Wild Mode is almost ridiculously easy, and I personally feel that an even harder mode could have been included. Spring Breeze Mode is obviously for the little ones, and anyone with kids should definitely add Forgotten Land to their collection. But that isn't to say there's no challenge to be had for veteran gamers who are also Kirby lovers. Each world has several extra levels known as treasure rooms, where Kirby must use a specific copy or mouthful ability to complete the stage in a certain amount of time. Completing these stages is essential, as you will be rewarded with a rare stone. This is a special currency used in the game to evolve Kirby's copy abilities, so it is definitely in your interest to clear these. While it's not essential to progression, the option of pursuing perfection and being rewarded for it is always nice, and having upgraded abilities throughout these blueprints that you can find by finding them on some levels or doing some challenges will make your life that much easier. Kirby and the Forgotten Land is not exactly a difficult game, which is pretty much what one would expect, but it does not mean that it is not without some challenges and clever designs to test players. The way certain enemies and boss fights can make you think differently, and the aforementioned secrets to be found all require a little thinking outside the box, and that eureka moment is always welcome. The environments found in Kirby and the Forgotten Land are also quite a treat, with various themes that come to life in amazing fashion thanks to the vibrant colors used and sharp visuals. It is also always amusing to Kirby in action in the various cutscenes, with enough emotions and the like conveyed without the use of words. While the game is no graphical powerhouse, it is more than enough to bring some joy just by looking at it in action. Perhaps the only sore point in the entire 10 to 12 hour journey of Kirby in the Forgotten Land is the lackluster co-op mode. Sure, anyone can jump in and join a game without a fuss, but being relegated to Bandana Waddle Dee with no capability to use copy abilities is not a good experience. It is even worse when the camera does not compensate for one more layer and focus solely on Kirby. There's still more fun to be had with a partner, just do not go in expecting a refined time. It's odd for a game that really isn't too revolutionary to feel like such a big step forward. But Forgotten Land is just that for Kirby. While the Pink's mascot side scrolls have often had simply wonderful art styles, they had the same gameplay for years now. The change to 3D is for one, though, and makes plenty of familiar elements feel new again. At the latest game in a long-running franchise, Kirby and the Forgotten Land has successfully migrated the beloved 2D action into the 3D space, delivering with great platforming, enjoyable combat, and smart use of everything at Kirby's disposal. The visuals are memorable and outstanding, and it allows the core elements of the classics to still shine through. It may not be a groundbreaking evolution, but every step made by Kirby in the Forgotten Land is in the right direction, and that is something most fans will be able to swallow.